Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to today's lesson on fourth suit forcing. Now it's something that you might have heard about before. There are a couple of different ways of playing it, but it is a wonderful convention. As with all conventions, you do need to discuss it with your partner. So let's get into what exactly fourth suit forcing is. Okay, so fourth suit forcing, it's a conventional use for the meaning of bidding a fourth suit in an auction. So we've got an example here of when the opener bids one heart, responder bids one spade, opener bids two clubs, and then responder bids the fourth suit that hasn't yet been bid in the auction. This is what is the fourth suit. So it's where we've bid three suits and now one player bids another suit. We'll have a look at a couple of different sort of scenarios that it can occur with. So for instance, if we had, it can be any situation, if it had gone, say, one diamond, past one heart, past one spade, pass, and now our south player comes back with two clubs, this would be an example of fourth suit forcing because we've bid three suits and now one player's come in and has bid the fourth suit. Now let's have a look at a different situation, and we'll say that the opener actually came back and they bid two diamonds. Now at this stage, if say our responder then bid say three clubs, this wouldn't be a fourth suit forcing situation because we have just bid three suits. We have to bid all four of them for it to be a fourth suit forcing situation. If after this though, our opener came back and said three spades, now this would be fourth suit forcing because we have bid all four suits. So let's take a look at what the conventional use is. Alright. So what we do is we say that this is a way for us to say, partner, I want to go to game, but I need to know more information. And there's three main reasons that this is used. The first is when we want to find a fit in a suit that's already been bid. Now, a lot of the time this is going to be a fit in responder's first suit. So if we just have a look at an auction that might occur, it could be something like this. So we'll just get rid of that. So let's say it had gone one diamond, pass, one spade by responder, pass, two clubs by our opener, pass, and now our responder here had enough points for game, so they've got sort of 12 or 13 or more, and they had a 5-card suit in spades. It is possible that our opener still has 3 spades on this auction, so we might want to use fourth suit forcing. The fourth suit here would be 2 hearts, to say, partner, I want to go to game. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to find out if they'd have 3 spades for us. And we'll get into how we respond a little bit later in the session. Okay, so our first reason is that we want to find a fit in a suit that's already been bid. Our next reason is that we might want to find a stopper to play in no trumps. So this is when we're a bit worried about that fourth suit. We've bid 3 suits naturally, and now we're worried about that fourth suit, and if we've got a stopper for it for no trumps. Our last reason is that we want to set up a slam going auction. So this is where we might have a few extras and we want to be able to explore the possibility of slam. A common situation that arises is something like this, where our auction goes, we'll say, we can use this auction. Alright, so at this stage, let's say our responder had a game forcing hand and they had maybe 4 clubs for themselves, and they wanted to potentially either look for slamming clubs, or they wanted to tell their partner at least that they've got a club fit to be able to help choose between whether we want to play in 5 clubs or in 3 no trumps. At this stage, our responder would have a problem. They can't bid 3 clubs because that'd just be showing their 6 to 9 points. They don't want to bid 4 clubs or 5 clubs because that would be going past 3 no trumps, which might be a viable spot. Also, if they wanted to look for slam, it's a little bit hard to know how to go about it. So here we could use fourth suit forcing as a way of saying, I want to go to game, but I want to know more information, and then you could tell your partner about your clubs a little bit later. We'll look at some hands, so if it's a little bit confusing at the moment, don't worry about it because it'll start to sink in soon. Okay, so let's then have a look at what happens after we've bid fourth suit forcing. So once all 4 suits have been bid in the auction, We're now in a game forcing auction. Just a couple of things about this. The main reason we use this convention is because after we've bid 3 suits naturally, it's very, very unlikely that we're actually going to have a fit in the 4th suit. It's just basically not going to happen. It is possible, but it's a better use for the bid to show a hand that wants to go to game. Now, another thing about it, at least in Australia, it is an alertable bid. So you do need to alert your opponents to the fact that it's not a natural bid and it is used for a conventional meaning. In this case, it says, partner, I want to go to game, but I need to know more, or I need to show you something else. So let's have a look at what happens next. So after there's been a 4th suit forcing bid, it's the partner of the 4th suit forcing's job to show what we call a feature, and we bid our features up the line. So the main types of feature that we have, first of all, there's a stopper in the unbid suit, or the 4th suit, so the suit that neither of us have shown naturally. The second is that we've got 3 card support for a suit that partners bid. And our third type of feature is that we've got an extra card in any suit that we have bid already. So there are our main 3 types of features. Do I have a stopper in the 4th suit? Do I have 3 card support for a suit partner's bid that I haven't yet shown? And our last one is, do I have an extra card in any of the suits that I've bid? If you don't have any features, what you have to do is simply rebid your own first bid suit. So it becomes a little bit messy because when we rebid our own first bid suit, it's our way of saying either I have extra length in the suit or I don't have any features at all. It's got a dual meaning, but we'll see how we can sort of navigate these when we have a look at some hands. Now, the next and most important thing is that when we do bid our features, we bid our features up the line, and we'll have a look at what that means. Okay, so bidding features up the line. We'll go back to this auction where we had 1 diamond from the opener, 1 spade from responder, 2 clubs by opener, and now our responder bids 2 hearts, which would be our 4th suit forcing, and at least in Australia, it needs to be alerted. Now, when you do alert it, if your opponents ask what it is, I just generally say it doesn't say anything about hearts, but it is forcing to game. So just to clarify for them that it isn't actually showing a heart suit necessarily, because most of the time it won't have one. And so after the 4th suit forcing bid, when it comes back to the partner of the 4th suit forcing, it's now their job to show their features up the line. Now, up the line starts from where the 4th suit forcing bid is. So at the moment we're at 2 hearts in the auction. The next bid up the line would start at 2 spades. Now, because our responder had already bid spades in the auction, if we were to bid 2 spades, it would be our way of saying, partner, I have 3 cards in spades for you that I haven't yet shown you. Now, if we actually skip over that bid, so we go further up the line, say for instance 2 no trumps, we're actually denying anything that we've skipped over. So if we bid 2 no trumps here, it'd be our way of saying, partner, I don't have 3 spades for you. But when you bid no trumps, it's your way of saying you've got a stopper in the 4th suit. So 2 no trumps here would be our way of saying, partner, I don't have 3 spades for you, but I do have a stopper in hearts. So that would be the next feature up the line. Now, our next one, if we ended up bidding 3 clubs, this would be our way of saying, partner, because I've skipped over 2 spades, I don't have 3 spades for you. Also, because I skipped over 2 no trumps, I don't have a stopper in hearts. Now, because I'm bidding a suit that I've already bid, I'm showing extra length in it. So that's going to mean that you're now showing a 5th card in clubs. Partner, I've got 5 diamonds and I've got 5 clubs as well. Now let's go to our next option. This is the one that gets a little bit tricky. So here what's happened is that our opener's actually gone back to their first bid suit. Now this is the one that has a dual meaning. What it either means is, partner, I've got an extra card in my hand or in that suit, or partner, I don't actually have any features that I can show you. So what we've done, we've skipped over 2 spades, so we don't have 3 cards in spades. We've skipped over 2 no trumps, so we don't have a stopper in hearts. And we've also skipped over 3 clubs, so we don't have a 5th club in our hand. So what it means is that we're either going to have 6 diamonds, or there could be sort of a rare situation where we might just be sort of a 2-2-5-4, and we just don't have a stopper in the heart suit for our partner. So this is what we mean by features up the line. Anything that you actually skip over, you're denying for your partner. So when you're bidding, you need to think about those ones. Now, the critical part of 4th suit forcing is that once it's been used, we are in a game forcing auction. So we're not allowed to stop the bidding below game. What it would mean here is, say for instance, our responder came back and bid 4 diamonds. This would mean that we can't actually pass 4 diamonds. We have to keep on bidding. Now, whenever we do have these sorts of auctions, what we also need to consider is, why was partner using 4th suit forcing? Now, in one like this, when we go back to our 3 main reasons, our partner could have been looking for a 3rd card in spades from us, and they didn't actually we told them we didn't have a 3rd card in spades. We didn't have a fit in one of the suits we've already bid. They also, if at this stage they were still concerned about hearts, they could also bid hearts. And what they've done is they've actually come back and said 4 diamonds. So this would commonly be used for the way of saying, I wanted to look for slam in diamonds, partner. What do you think? Now, I just realized I did skip over one last option here. So if we come back to where it went 1 diamond, 1 spade, 2 clubs, 2 hearts, which is our 4th suit forcing bid, the last thing that can happen is that our partner of the 4th suit forcing could actually raise the 4th suit. Now, what we generally keep this reserved for is a hand that does have 4 cards in the bid suit. Typically, I'd generally say that it doesn't have a stopper. You can agree different things with your partner, though, about what raising the 4th suit would mean. It's up to you, really. So these are our options of how we use 4th suit forcing and how we look for game contracts using it. Now, I'll just show you a few examples of what we can do and just sort of what our auctions mean. So here we have some example auctions, and if we had, for instance, the opener bid 1 heart, responder bids 1 spade, and opener comes back with 2 clubs, and responder now bids 2 diamonds. So this would be 4th suit forcing. We've bid hearts, spades, clubs, and diamonds. Here responder's saying, I want to go to game, and it's either because I don't know where we should play game, or there's something else that I want to show you. And 2 spades comes back. So what would that be the opener's way of, what would they be saying? If we go with our features up the line, opener has skipped over 2 hearts. This means they won't have a 6th card in hearts for us, but they have bid 2 spades. Because responder had bid spades already, it's their way of saying, I do have 3 spades for you. So at this point, we can almost mark out with the opener that they've got 3 spades, 5 hearts, 1 diamond, and 4 clubs. They could still have 5 clubs, but that's a bit rare. So after the 2 spade bid, we had the 4 spade response from the responder. Now here, what they've done is they've said, partner, I had a minimum game force and I did have 5 spades. So their reason for looking for slam was obviously to find the 3 card support for spades. Let's have a look at this one. So here we've had 1 club by the opener, 1 spade by responder, and openers come back with 2 hearts, which is a reversing bid. Now, 4th suit forcing can also be used after a reverse, and it's got the same sort of meaning, but you actually need less points for it. So when we think about how many points each player would need, our responder normally needs about 13 or more points to do a game force opposite a normal opening, because partners only promise 12. And for the opener, depending on how many points our responders promised, if they've only promised 6 or more, our opener actually needs to have about 19 to do 4th suit forcing, but it might change based on the situation. What I mean by that is, for instance, if the responder had actually bid a suit at the 2 level, showing 10 or more points, now our opener would only need about 15 or so to use 4th suit forcing. So in this situation, responder actually only needs about 8 or 9 points because partners promised 16 with their reverse. Opener then comes back and says 3 no trumps, which is their way of denying having 5 hearts. It's also their way of denying having 3 spades because they've skipped over a 3 heart bid and they've also skipped over a 3 spade bid to bid 3 no trumps. So that's they've got a diamond stopper, they don't have 3 spades, and they don't have 5 hearts. Let's take a look at this one down here. So here we had our opener bid 1 heart, responder bids 1 spade, opener comes back with 2 clubs, and responder bids 2 diamonds, our 4th suit forcing bid. Opener then comes back with 2 no trumps. So at this stage, we know that they're denying being able to bid 2 hearts and also be able to bid 2 spades. So it means they won't have a 6th card in hearts. They also won't have a 3rd card in spades, but what they will have is definitely a stopper in our diamond suit. And responder comes back and says 3 clubs, which is a suit that openers already bid. So here, responder, their basic reason for using 4th suit forcing was that they're interested in playing clubs, either at least interested in playing 5 clubs instead of 3 no trumps, or most of the time it's going to be because they want to look for slamming clubs. And here openers come back with 4 clubs, so they like clubs as well. And the auction might continue where we use Blackwood or key card, depends on your partnership agreement with 4 no trumps. Now for our last one, let's figure out what this one might be. So opener bids 1 spade and responder bids 2 diamonds, and opener comes back with 2 hearts. At this point they've promised 5 spades and 4 hearts. Responders then bid 3 clubs as the 4th suit forcing bid, and openers come back with 3 hearts. Now we know that they've skipped over bidding 3 diamonds, so they won't have a 3 card diamond suit for us, because they should have bid 3 diamonds. They've skipped over it. It's a suit that we've shown already. What they do have though is an extra card in hearts that they've already shown us. So they've shown us 5 spades and 4 hearts. Now when they bid hearts again, it's going to be because of the fact that they do have a 5th heart in their hand. So then responder comes back and says 4 hearts. That would be their way of saying that they've got 3 hearts for their partner. After the 4th suit forcing bid, what we basically do is we describe things to our partner, we try to find a fit, or we basically settle in no trumps when there is a stopper. Now some people, I'll just get the hands set up, but some people like to use 4th suit forcing rather than being a complete game force. They like to use it as a way of saying to their partner, I've got at least an invitational hand, and I'd like to be able to at least invite you to game. It's only going to be forcing for 1 round in the auction. Now, this is something that you could agree to do with your partner. I don't have too much experience playing this method. I do prefer if 4th suit forcing is treated as 100% game forcing. I think the main reason for this is that when we do use, or we do have an invitational hand, a lot of the time you will have a way of being able to show your partner you do have an invite by making another bid in the auction. So for instance, bidding 2 no trumps, or jump bidding in one of the suits that's been bid. So I think 4th suit forcing reserved for game forcing hands is a fair bit better than 4th suit forcing being for at least 1 round. But I personally haven't had that much experience in it. And I'm sure there's some people who absolutely stand by using it for the invitational or better hands. The problem is that if you use it for invitational or better, you might have trouble sort of sussing out when we're going to game and when we've got extras for slam. So let's take a look at some hands now. Okay, so here's our first one, and our deal is going to be the North player. So North here start off with a 1 spade bid, and when it comes around to our South player, they're going to bid 2 clubs. North at this stage, they're going to come back and they're going to show their heart suit, so 2 hearts. Now at this point, our South player would normally just bid 3 no trumps, But playing fourth suit forcing, if you wanted to, you can use the convention here. So South, if they wanted to, could actually come back and bid 3 diamonds. Now, you don't necessarily have to. South might want to just bid 3 no trumps because they do know they have their stopper in diamonds. It's not a compulsory thing that you have to use fourth suit forcing. So at this point, it should be alerted by the opener. And remember, if your opponents ask, it's simply that you're going to game. It doesn't necessarily promise diamonds. So here, when it comes back to our opener, their job is to show their features up the line. Now, the first bid would be 3 hearts. 3 hearts, because we've already bid hearts, would promise an extra card in hearts. So what they'd then do is they'd now have 5 hearts. They could bid 3 hearts, saying, partner, I've got 1 extra card in hearts, so they have to have 5 spades and also 5 hearts. And when it comes back to our responder, they now know that they've got a fit and they could raise up to 4 hearts. So this is how an auction could go with fourth suit forcing on this particular hand. Let's take a look at another one. So here our dealer is East, and they'd start off with a bid of 1 diamond. And when it gets around to their partner's going to bid 1 heart. This is one of the most useful meanings for fourth suit forcing. When it gets back to our East player, they're going to bid 1 spade. And now when it comes around to West, they absolutely know that they've got enough for game with partners 12 and their points, but they might still have a fit in hearts. The second thing they're worried about is they're worried about clubs because they've got 2 small clubs and we don't know what's happening. Our opponents are likely to lead it. So if I was the responder here, I'd really want to use the fourth suit forcing convention. What I'd be able to do is, for starters, find out if we've got a fit in hearts, and secondly, if we also have stoppers in clubs. Now, if you don't play fourth suit forcing, you'd basically be obliged to bid 3 no trumps at this point, where you might miss out on a heart fit, or you might also not have a club stopper. So here we bid 2 clubs, and again that would get alerted to our opponents. When it comes back around to East, we go with our features up the line. So we're at 2 clubs. The first thing we could bid is 2 diamonds. If it's a suit that we've already bid, we want to have an extra card in it. So we don't want to do that because we've only got 5 cards in diamonds. The next feature would be 2 hearts, or the next bid up the line. And to do that, we'd need 3 hearts because partners already bid the suit. So we can't do that one. Our next bid up the line, 2 spades. To do that, we'd need a 5th spade because we've already promised 4. Our next bid up the line would be to bid 2 no trumps, and that would promise a stopper in the club suit, which we do have. So that's what we should do on this hand. If we didn't have a stopper, we'd keep going up the line. Can I bid 3 clubs, which would promise partner 4 clubs? And the answer would be no. If we were absolutely stuck, so for instance, if you changed your ace of clubs to the ace of spades, and maybe a queen of clubs to the queen of hearts, this is the type of hand that what you'd do is you'd bid 3 diamonds, which are 2 diamonds, which would be the default bid to say, partner, it's normally going to be a 6-card suit, but it could just be that you had nothing else to bid. So that's the dual meaning for rebidding your first bid suit. Now, at this stage, after the 2 no trump bid, our West player can confidently put the auction into 3 no trumps because they know partner doesn't have 3 hearts for them, but they know they've got clubs covered. So 3 no trumps is going to be the best spot to play. So that's how the auction would go on this one. Let's take a look at our next one, where our dealer is the South player who's going to pass. When it gets around to our West player, they've got enough to open and they'll start off with 1 heart. And when it gets around to East, East is going to bid their spades. West can now come back and show their clubs, so 2 clubs. And we now get around to East, who's got the same sort of problem. The only difference is here that they've got a stopper in diamonds. And again, typically what you'd have to do here with the East hand is simply bid 3 no trumps. But using fourth suit forcing, we can actually stop off and look and see if our partner's got a 3-card fit with us in spades. So we can use 2 diamonds, fourth suit forcing, which West should alert. When it comes back to West, they start their features up the line. Do I have a 6th heart for partner? No, I don't, so I can't bid 2 hearts. Partners bid spades already. Do I have 3 cards in spades for them? Yes, I do. So they could bid 3 spades here. Just, sorry, 2 spades, to show their partner that they do have 3 cards in spades for them. And when it gets around to our East player, East would be very happy because they now know that they have a fit. If you play Fast Arrival, you will have differences between what bidding 3 spades and 2 spades is, but that's only if you play that convention as well. What we know with this East hand is that they definitely want spades to be trumps, so they're going to keep the auction going and show that spades are trumps for their partner. And this way we've been able to find our 5-3 fit, which is a lot more comfortable place than playing in 3 no trumps with just that 1 stopper. If we played in 3 no trumps, we're going to have our 5 spades, but we're going to have to basically rely on sort of either a club finesse or a heart finesse, and I think you'll end up going down on this one. So a lot nicer contract being able to end up in 4 spades rather than in 3 no trumps. Oh, you do slightly get there because you do get 5 spades, a club and a heart and a diamond. So you do get there, two hearts, sorry. You do get to 3 no trumps, but I'd much prefer to be in a contract of 4 spades. Okay, on to our 4th one. So here with this one, we've got our dealer as West. West is going to pass, and we get around to our North player. So North here is going to start off with a 1 club opening, and when it gets around to the South player, they can bid 1 heart. North's now going to come back and show their spade suit. Now, it's an interesting one here with what you'd want to do with the South hand. Being that you do have a double stopper in diamonds, you might consider just bidding 3 no trumps here yourself. Now remember that using 4th suit forcing isn't a compulsory action to do with your partner. So you can actually, if you think you just want to play in 3 no trumps, even if your partner has 3 hearts, you could just bid it yourself. So you could bid 3 no trumps on this hand, knowing that you've got enough for game with partner and that you've got a double stopper in diamonds. On the other hand, you could actually put it through 4th suit forcing if you wanted to. So you could bid 2 diamonds here to try to find out if partner's got to fit in hearts for you. So if you did that, when it comes back to partner, this is where they've now got a problem. Going up the line, they don't have 3 cards in hearts for you, so they can't bid 2 hearts. They can't bid 2 spades because they don't have an extra card in spades. They can't bid 2 no trumps because they don't have a stopper in our diamonds, so they'd be forced to the default bid of bidding their suit again. So this would either show that they've got 6 clubs or that they just have a problem and they don't actually have a feature to use. So at this point, we could now come back and say 3 no trumps. So that's how the auction would go if you did elect to go through 4th suit forcing on this hand. We sort of sometimes end up murking our way around at this stage. So on to our next one. So here we have our dealer as North, and North's got a nice hand with their 16 points, and they can start off with 1 spade. Now when it gets around to our South player, they've got 10 or more most definitely, so they can bid 2 clubs. And our North player is now going to bid 2 diamonds, showing their 5 spades and their 4 diamonds. This makes South's hand quite nice. So when it comes around to South, we now know we definitely have a fit in diamonds. If we take a look at our points, what have we got? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we've got a couple of extra points for partner than what we need just to go to game. What I might want to do with this hand is actually use 4th suit forcing and show them that I've got a diamond fit. So what I could do is I could bid 2 hearts, 4th suit forcing, and when it comes around to the North player, the first option would be to bid 2 spades. Ideally they'd want a 6 card suit, so they wouldn't do that. The next option is 2 no trumps to say partner, I've got a stopper in hearts, which is what they do on this one. Now what we could do is we could come back and we could say 3 diamonds for them. To say, partner, I've got to fit in diamonds, what do you think? And now with our North hand, they've got quite a nice hand. They've got some extras that they haven't shown their partner. They've only promised an opening hand at this stage, so they might be very interested in playing in diamonds as well. Now, one thing to consider is that if you are going to go down this minor suit path, you don't want it to be just because you've got a fit with your partner. You want it to be because you're seriously interested in possibly playing in 5 or in 6 of the minor, because partner does have the right to be able to raise you up here. Now, hopefully on this hand, we'd end up getting to slam because it is a very, very nice slam contract. We're going to have a great time. We can knock out that ace of clubs and set up the clubs. You also don't even need the heart finesse. That one's a little bit of a tricky one that's luring you in, because what you could do is you could actually pitch a heart on the 3rd spade. So if you do get to 6 diamonds, it's a great contract to be in, and possibly one that you could have only got to with 4th suit forcing. But just remember, if you are going to use it to show partner a minor suit fit, you have to be quite serious about wanting to play in 5 of a minor or possibly 6 of a minor. So we say you need a few extras or you need a really good hand shape. Now onto our last example hand. So here we have our East player as the dealer, and East is going to start off with 1 heart. Now when it comes around to our West player, they're going to get in there with 1 spade, and East will now come back and show their diamond suit. So here our West player has quite a nice hand. They've definitely got enough for game. They've got 14 points opposite partner's opening. And again, it's a situation of, do we want to use 4th suit forcing, or do we want to just bid 3 no trumps? Because here we've got a double stopper in our club suit, and we've got 4 of them as well, just to boot. So do we want to look for something more, or do we want to just simply bid 3 no trumps? And again, it's up to you. So if you just bid 3 no trumps, that'd be where our auction would end on this one. On the other hand, if you did go through 4th suit forcing with the aim of finding out if you had a fit in spades or not, we're going to end up with our partner having a couple of different problems here. So what ends up happening is that once we use 4th suit forcing at the 3 level, we can get a little bit jammed up. So here partner's first bid would be 3 diamonds to show an extra card in the diamond suit. They don't have one, so they can't bid 3 diamonds. The next bid up the line would be 3 hearts, and ideally they'd want an extra card in hearts for this one, so they can't do that. The next feature up the line would be bidding 3 spades, and to do that they'd want a 3rd card in partner's suit. Next up the line is going to be 3 no trumps, and to do that they'd need a stopper in clubs. So what happens now is that our East player doesn't have any features at all. What they'd have to do is they'd have to revert to the 3 heart bid. So remember, the 3 hearts, or the first bid suit of the partner of the 4th suit bidder, is what we call our catch-all bid. So it's either going to show a hand that had no features at all, or it's going to show a hand that had a 6th card in hearts, and it sometimes can be a little bit tricky to deduce which. It is a common problem that comes up, especially at the 3 level when 4th suit forcing is used. So here, after the 3 heart bid, our West player wouldn't know if it's 6 hearts or if it's a bid that their partner just had to do the catch-all. Now, the big problem is that partner could actually have 6 hearts and they could have 3 spades as well. It's particularly rare because it would mean they had 6 hearts, 4 diamonds, and they also had 3 spades. So it's very, very rare. What this means is that when it comes around to West, normally what they'd do here if they saw this bid from partner and they knew they were looking for the 3 card support, is that they'd actually bid 3 spades to show their partner that they're still interested in spades. The problem is you always want to think about what this is going to force your partner to do. Now, partner's already said basically that they probably don't have a club stopper. And what you'll find if you did make this 3 spade bid here is that partner would be forced to raise you with simply 2 cards. What your best bet to do, if you think that 3 no trumps is a good spot to be and you think that your bidding might get you past 3 no trumps if you use 4th suit forcing, simply bid it. You might risk here missing a 5-3 spade fit, but at the same point you don't want to go past 3 no trumps when 3 no trumps is probably going to be the best spot to be. If East did have the hand where they had 6 hearts and 3 spades, they might even transfer it here back to spades. So they might just bid 4 spades if they did have 3 spades here. So fourth suit forcing, it's a wonderful convention to use. It gives us the ability to find out a lot about where we should be playing game, and it also gives us the ability to look for slam contracts. It means that we can set up a game force particularly easily. There's nothing worse than being in an auction and not knowing if we're going to game or if we're invitational and trying to sort of muddy your way around it. So fourth suit forcing, it's a great convention to use. It is a convention though, so you definitely need to talk to your partner about it and don't just assume that everybody plays it. Now, the 3 main reasons that we do use fourth suit forcing, it's that we want to go to game, and we've got 2 reasons to use it. It either might be that we need to know more information or that we want to show our partner more information. The common reasons, we want to find a fit in a suit that's already been bid, or we want to check for a stopper for no trumps, and the last one is that we want to look for slams. So they're the main reasons that we use fourth suit forcing. After the fourth suit forcing bid has happened, it's the partner's job to then show features. And remember, it's always important to show those features up the line. So up the line starts from where the fourth suit forcing bid was. And it's really important because once you skip over a bid, you're actually denying that feature to partner. So remember that each time you skip over a feature, you're denying that feature to partner. And our main types of features: extra cards in a suit that we've already bid, 3 card support for partner suit, or a stopper in the fourth suit forcing bid. Now I'm going to put these notes up online. They're up online already actually, you can already find them. I do need to tweak it a little bit because I forgot to change the title. And the video will be up later on today as well. Just to also clarify, for people who are interested in possibly just using fourth suit as forcing for 1 round, I will try to find a little bit of information on that, but I've always just used it as game forcing. And the main reasons people use it as forcing for 1 round are so that it could be an invitational or better action. I haven't looked into it too much in depth, but I have a feeling that it's not going to be as useful because you've still got to sort of muck around to define whether they're going to be invitational or whether they're going to be game forcing. And this will probably mean that there's got to be jump bidding in the auction from a player who wants to accept the invitation. So personally, I'd suggest game forcing, but it's up to your partnership. If you're already just using it as forcing for 1 round, don't feel the need to change just because it's the way that we do it. So I hope you enjoyed this featured lesson on fourth suit forcing, and you'll start to use it because it is a great convention. It allows you to find great fits, avoid 3 no trumps that are awful because you don't have stoppers, and also it'll clarify a lot of your slam auctions where you've got fits with partner. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.